We often think that it's only the big decisions that define us. But how would you feel if I told you that small decisions are more important than big decisions? The small choices we make daily are decisive moments, because each day a decisive moment can determine whether we stay stuck or move toward the person we want to become. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Grow, your go-to place for leveling up your mind and life. In today's video, we're breaking down chapter 13 of Atomic Habits by James Clear. We'll cover how tiny choices shape our lives, how decisive moments determine long-term success, and how the 2-minute rule can help eliminate procrastination. By the end of this video, you'll see how the most important decisions in your life are the tiny ones you don't even think about. You'll also have a simple yet powerful strategy to help overcome procrastination. So stick around and watch until the end, and feel free to leave your comments down below. I'd love to know your thoughts. Okay, let's start with the simple truth. Our decisions don't just control what we do, they control what happens next. Think of decisions like you're merging onto a motorway or highway. Once you make a small choice, you're often pulled into a sequence of following actions, most of the time without realizing it. You grab your phone to check one notification. Suddenly, 20 minutes have disappeared. You eat one cookie, then somehow you finish a whole pack. You sit through a bad movie just because you started it. Then 2 hours have gone. So what's the problem with wasting 20 minutes here or there? Or eating a whole pack of cookies every now and then? Or mindlessly watching a horrible movie? Well, if these things occurred as isolated incidents, then nothing really. However, what if this happened multiple times a day across different activities? What if these actions occur multiple times a week? What would that look like over the course of a month, of a year, of 10 years, of 30 years? These small choices that pull us into a sequence of following events essentially set the tone for what follows. Clear calls these decisive moments, and they act like a fork in the road. For example, the moment you decide between ordering takeout or cooking at home, the moment you choose between scrolling on your phone or opening a book, the moment you pick between hitting snooze or getting out of bed. These tiny choices have a huge impact on our lives. If we cook more often than ordering takeout, over time, we'll have significantly improved our cooking skills and be in better physical and financial health. If we read a book instead of doom scroll, our vocabulary and mental health will improve. If we wake up early, we can get ready for the day and embrace it without feeling rushed and irritated. But it isn't easy doing these things. I've hit snooze more times than I can remember. I've wasted countless of hours or maybe even days of my life doom scrolling. As discussed in the previous video on chapter 12, we humans are hardwired to do the easy thing, not the hard thing. One way we can take control of decisive moments is by shaping our environment ahead of time. For instance, if we delete social media apps from our phones, we won't have the option to doom scroll. If we stock our fridge with healthy food and prepare meals ahead of time, ordering fast food becomes less tempting. Small tweaks like these remove the friction to make the harder choices easier. Another thing we can do to make the hard choices easier is to use the 2-minute rule, which I'll talk about next. The 2-minute rule is a simple trick designed to make an action as easy as possible to start. A lot of the time, when deciding to start something productive or hard, we can be overwhelmed. For example, when deciding whether to go to the gym, we may think I'll have to be there for at least 45 minutes, otherwise what's the point? By the time I get there and come back home, an hour or more may have passed. It's cold outside and I'm tired. You get the point. With a 2-minute rule, instead of thinking all of that, we just begin the action. Put your shoes and gym clothes on, that is it. The idea behind this is to build momentum. Because once we start something, it's much easier to keep going. The same principle can be applied to reading a book. Just grab the book and open a page and stare at it. It'll be easier to read by doing that than by thinking about how many pages or chapters you're going to read. Okay, So this rule can seem somewhat like a little bit of a trick, meaning you know what the real goal is to continue doing the action. If that doesn't fly with you, then try this alternative, which I personally prefer. When doing something, you can only do it for 2 minutes. You have to stop after 2 minutes. So if you go for a run, stop after 2 minutes. If you start meditating, stop after 2 minutes. If you're reading, stop after 2 minutes. This is not a trick. What this does is actually create a desire in you to want to continue performing the action, while eliminating the overwhelming feeling of running a mile or reading a chapter. So back to small choices. Over time, these small actions cast votes for your new identity, as discussed in chapter 2. And once you see yourself as a kind of person who reads often, works out often, or eats healthy, the action becomes a habit and it becomes second nature. So let's recap chapter 13. Small choices don't just influence the now, they influence our lives. Decisive moments shape our future choices. Making the right decisions early makes everything easier. The 2-minute rule can stop procrastination. Start small, build consistency, and momentum will follow. The key to lasting change is not willpower. It's making good choices easy and automatic. And that's a wrap on chapter 13 of Atomic Habits. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content on leveling up your mind and life. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep growing.